Hans, congratulations on your new film, Absolution.
Thank you very much.
I always enjoy your films and your work, and it's a pleasure to speak to you on this film. But tell us what attracted you initially that you wanted to direct Absolution.
Well, it was a terrific script and a terrific story. It was it's not so often you get to tell a story about somebody who's not entirely sympathetic and who's just made a mess of their life and who way too late in their life is forced to have some to reflect on their own behavior and their own choices in life, and to the best of their ability, even if he's not very good at it, trying to at least figure out how to deal with that.
That is so true. Now, I've seen a few of your films already, and the one thing that I have to admire is how you handled flawed characters. And because the characters seem to go through their own struggles. So how did you want to handle the flawed characters in this film? Because it's not just one flawed character. It seems like many flawed characters throughout in this film.
Well, they're human beings, which we are by design, and we're flawed human, and that's our sort of prerogative as human beings is to be imperfect, and in a way, it interests me. It always interested me. That's part of for lack of a better word, the fun of making films is exploring the humanity of the characters. And in a digital world where perfection is really the sort of enemy of our humanity, it's even more interesting, I find in this character uh, his shortcomings are so vast, and his lack of curiosity in a way about his in his past life. Even though we don't show it, we clearly get a sense that this is not a man who's given a lot of thought to his own action and choices, and probably for a good reason, because if he had examined them, he would have had to make some really serious serious alterations, and that's brutal when you have to confront that. And it's interesting to see how people deal with their problems, deal with their and it's not elegant. It's at least most of the time. Sometimes he blames others, and sometimes he has to eat humble pie by big portions, and but that also is interesting. It is interesting to see him, wallow and scramble and take shit for his, but also to try to suddenly start to reflect on who is he as a human being and discover his own humanity, one thing is a good script, but it's been an absolute pleasure to explore this together with Liam. I mean, he's so courageous in that role. Um, I, you know, not to say anything bad about any other films he's done, because he's done a lot of terrific films. But to me, this is some of the best I've seen Liam do in ages, because he's so thoroughly interesting as a human being, and very courageous in exploring that.
I have to ask, was Liam already signed on to the project, or did you have to recruit him to play this role?
Well, we have worked together before, and it was part of the discussion with both of us. So in all fairness, I don't think this film would have been made without Liam, or at least not under those circumstances. So uh, the fact that he embraces a project like this makes it possible.
I'm always astonished about on how you work because this is the second time you work with Liam, and I almost thought you were going to work with Stellan again because you worked with him so many times. But I guess Stellan doesn't have a boxer's body, if anything, to fit this role.
No, but I will work with both of them again, hopefully, maybe even both of them together. I don't know, but I love working with both of them. I think, uh, I mean, they're both excellent actors. They both bring something very unique to their work, and I think, like all people who are really great, they know that it's hard work, you know. It's you have to do the work every day. It's discipline and that it means something, you know. It's makes a difference that people are so committed. I think, when I think about, this film was not easy to make, and we didn't have a long shooting schedule or anything. So uh, the fact that we have been so, attuned to make this story, and we're totally agreement about what we were exploring, has made this possible. There's so yeah, I am very happy to have had the chance to make the film. I'm extremely proud of the outcome. Uh, I wish people will seek it out, not because they expect just adrenaline-filled action, but that it's a very interesting portrayal of somebody who's part of a criminal world and the cost of that, I wouldn't say it's a cautionary tale, but certainly he has not a very good pension, so it's uh, it's not a very glamorous life, to put it mildly.
You're absolutely right. Criminals don't really they don't bank on the pension
I guess
for
most of them
retirement.
die before they get that far, yeah. Or yeah.
How,
Uh,
how, how do you direct people to get into that mental state of these characters? I know you always approach like Liam and Stellan as as commonalities, but you also direct other people too, and because of the flawed characters, how do you get them into that state of mindset?
um, like you say, in this film, there's a lot of terrific actors. I mean, it's really kind of an ensemble. Okay, Liam obviously is very famous, but he's surrounded by really, really great actors, even down to very small parts. And I think, rehearsing and discussing with people what their characters, who they are, why they do this and that, and I don't rehearse to set things in stone, but just to explore the material so you can get beyond the obvious. That's part of the fun. For me, every film is an exploration, and it's fun to do with other people. That's really the wonders of this collaborative effort. Uh, and obviously the actors are the ones that have to bring life and breathe life into their character, but to be with them and to discuss with sort of a open and curious mind uh, what's going on in the head or in the surroundings and before and after a scene uh, fills out the picture, because I think even though you're just seeing somebody for 2 minutes within a scene, even if that's in real time, you need to have a sense of where they're coming from and where they're going, and that this is just a little glimpse into their existence. So it means that you have to build that universe together, and support the performances by that. And a lot of it has to do with trust. I think actors are really vulnerable, especially in movies, because they can give absolutely outstanding performances, and it can be wasted on bad editing, bad, choice of camera angles, whatever. There are multiple reasons it can be, wasted. So for actors to actually make that leap of faith and trust in you to take care of those gems that they bring to the table, it requires a lot of courage, and it requires that they feel like you have their best interest at heart, and but I enjoy that exploration with actors. I really, really do. I mean, down to uh, you know, we give a lot of attention to the stars and the people who have the big roles in the film, but the day players, as they called, they have one chance to make their contribution. That's a really, really tough job. I think in this film, there's several of them. One in particular that really I'm in great admiration of is his lawyer, who he visits late and who brings so much history to you can just suddenly see a relationship and get a new layer to Liam's character just by the way he meets this guy. They have an intimacy and a trust that and the gravitas in the lawyer that he has nothing to depend on except his own presence then and there, and he does a wonderful job of it. Uh, so yeah, I enjoy working with actors and the nitty-gritty of it. Yeah.
Well, I have to credit to you is because, the directors like yourself do make these actors look a lot better because a bad director, no matter how good acting it is, a bad director can make them look bad in the film. But you certainly elevate their acting on the screen. That is for sure.
But a big part of being a director is also casting, and not just casting good actors, but casting an ensemble, people who actually are believable to be in the same universe, and so that's half the job for a director. Once you have good actors in your film, then you know you get you have a great, at least you have a sporting chance to succeed. I mean, most films don't succeed, but at least if you make the right choices in casting, it's and I've read a lot over it because it's important.
Well said. Well, Hans, I've taken a lot of your time, but what's up next up the avenue with you?
I looks like I'm starting a film called Growth of the Soil, which is a Norwegian film made, but I'll know before Christmas if that goes ahead now or not. And it's a project that if it doesn't go now, it will go later. It's based on a Nobel Prize winning novel from more than 100 years ago.
Excellent. Hans, it's a pleasure speaking with you. I've spoke to you once over the phone for the In Order of Disappearance. It was with
Ah,
you and Stellan over the phone. This is the first time I spoke to you via
yeah.
Zoom, and ever since that movie, I just loved it. I even loved the your follow up with Cold Pursuit, and that is also terrific. I just love your direction and your style when it comes to these movies, including this one, Absolution. You once again hit it out of the
Oh,
park.
oh, that is so kind of you. Thank you very much. I hope people will will listen to you. I I think I think it's important for people to not have expectations of adrenaline-filled action when they go to see this because it yeah, they will walk away disappointed because that's not what it is. It's interesting and on another level, you know. And if you want, if but if you like watching Liam Neeson, I mean, it's an astounding performance, if you ask me. I am so proud that I've been almost like witnessing him be be there and be that man and inhabiting that character. I mean, he just is that flawed soul, you know.
So true, so true. Hans, let's do this again down the road. Thank you very much.
Thank,
Really appreciate
thank you very much. It's very kind of you.
it. Thank you.
And nice to talk to you again.
Hey, it's a pleasure. Thank you very much, Hans. Bye now.